good afternoon, evening, morning, or what it is where you are. Um, this is a replacement show for Rancy, the Senior Cinch stream number 11, and it's a last minute call, so we are improvising. We don't know what to talk about, or perhaps we do. We have a lot to talk about. So I'm sick this week, so I will at times I will be in the background coughing. um, so I will give the word to Rob and Andy. So welcome, Rob, first.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. How's your day been since your stream yesterday?
Oh, it's stressful this morning, as I was saying pre-show. I was supposed to be editing a podcast that's been sitting around for a while because I've been so busy doing lots of other things. So I set aside time this weekend, and I thought, yeah, I'll get that done, get it out. And I opened up the project, loaded in the files, only to find that my guest's audio, first 22 minutes, hadn't recorded. And I have no idea why that was. It's something to do with the system that we use. So I started panicking because it's a very important person that I interviewed, and it was a very good interview. And luckily, there was a kind of a backup recording, but instead of being individual voice files, it's everything in one stereo voice file. And we needed to filter out his background noise and just give his microphone a bit of a mid-range boost. And it's going to be a bit difficult now. I was very quickly researching AI tools to see if I could find something that would easily split both channels or both recordings. But I'm just now waiting to hear from my mastering engineer to find out what he wants me to do. So here I am. Nothing left to do today apart from just sit here and drink beer at some point. So there you go.
But welcome. It's good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
And Andy, how's your night been?
Hey,
Oh,
typical.
You're loud. Very
Am I
loud.
super loud?
Yeah.
I have it on auto. Let me just move the mic where it's better then. Is that
Yeah.
better?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, yeah, just the same old stuff. Doing this and that, and probably up front, if you guys didn't know about it, there's a solar eclipse today. It's an annular in the path of, well, not totality, it's an annular, but it's going through the center of the U.S. So you can catch it online on someone's feed somewhere. I'm just going to get a partial here, so I'll just go outside and just take a look at it, maybe take a few pictures. But starts around like 9:18 a.m. Pacific time. So you can find maps of NASA. Had some website up for it and stuff if you want to look at that. But yeah, other than that, it's been pretty. I haven't done any astronomy shows myself lately because it's been cloudy. So another reason why I won't set up anything fancy today because the clouds. And then just doing other basic stuff here and there. Since Kent is ill, or just not feeling well in general, I will probably do another fill-in mini pub later today if people want to do that. So I'm going to take a nap after this and then fire that up. So be looking for that. And that's it. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Let's dive into it. The new Waldorf Iridium. Have you been checking it out?
I've had a look at it. It's not something I wasn't particularly excited about, the whole Waldorf thing. I mean, I'm not saying that they're not good or anything. I'm just saying it just didn't appeal, especially at the prices. Obviously, I appreciate Waldorf are very good, and you pay for the quality. But the thing I've heard about this new, is it Iridium Core?
Yeah, I think it was what it's called.
I like the logo. It's got Iridium, and then it's got a heart, and then it's got core. So I was just wondering if they were going for the heart core type thing. But anyway, useless joke. what I've been seeing is that it's not that much cheaper than one of the bigger ones, and a lot of people are saying that the price difference just doesn't reflect the fact that you've got the basics, and people are complaining about those buttons again, and I don't know. I know that people have got the the main Iridium, and there's the other one as well. I can't, whose name escapes me at this moment.
The keyboard and the
Quantum.
Quantum. That's
Quantum.
the one.
Yeah.
So I know they all share the same kind of platform, the OS, and if one updates, they can all be updated. And I kind of like that ecosystem type thing, but it's not cheap, and this does seem to be a particular curious addition to the family in that it's supposed to, well, it looks like they're pitching it as an entry level version, but it's not an entry level version price.
No.
You might as well just stock up the extra.
When I saw it first, I didn't see the price, and I was thinking about €1,000. But it's almost twice that.
It's about 1,800, isn't it?
Yeah, 1,800, I think.
Yeah.
It's totally stupid. So.
Historically, they've always been expensive. I mean, Microwave 1, I was always eyeballing that back in the 90s, and it's like, sounds great, but I ended up sampling one that somebody had on my Emacs 2 because it's like the only certain sounds I really wanted at that point anyway, and I wasn't going to program anything back then. But I eventually got a Microwave XT, really good price used, and I have a Blofeld module, and a few other, some of the great software that they have out there for it. But I didn't look at the Microwave M or the some of the other stuff, just because I've got a lot of wavetables already between the XT and the Blofeld and all this great software, and all the Wolfgang Palm spin-off apps, which unfortunately you can't get now. I still have one on my iPads, and those things are amazing. So they make really good stuff. I love the sounds, but the price is definitely high on their stuff in general. So, buy used. That's what I could say.
It's funny because on their website they have the promo price, which is like it's only like 98 pounds cheaper than the full price. It doesn't seem like much of an encouragement to buy at a discount. So yeah, it's a lot of money for something so small. But yeah.
The normal desktop Iridium is on Thomann 2,400, and this one is 1,900.
Yeah, so it's not a massive difference. If you're gonna basically spend 1,900 on the Iridium core, why would you not go that extra step?
Yeah,
doesn't make sense. But
this one, I can't remember the measurements. I would like something which fits in a rack because I already have the keyboard. So if I wanted one more, it should be in a rack. I'm not sure if the core has a size for a rack. I'm looking here.
is it touchscreen?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe that's, I don't know. The idea of touchscreens in a rack seems a bit odd to me. I know there are things like that, but
Yeah, the
push. They're in the corner of the room somewhere, aren't they?
The Fairlight had a light pen. So
the vSynth XT is touchscreen. So
so is the Essence FM, and that can be racked. So yeah, I'm not saying it shouldn't be. I'm just saying it seems odd. I always view racks as like convenient ways of stacking a whole bunch of stuff and putting it in the corner of the room, so you don't have to have it in front of you and you can just access it. But yeah, I don't know. A rack would have been probably a more sensible option.
I can see the measurements on the core is I had it here. It's 346 millimeters wide, and how much? The other, the desktop, old desktop is 440. So there's a lot of air if you want to mount it in a rack.
Plus the fact that all the connectors are on that top plane, that back plane. So it's, if you rack it, you've then got to leave space above it to get everything in.
Yeah, I think the rack, the old desktop version has. No, I was wrong. I thought it was what do you call it? Not engraved, but when you have it deeper in. But it hasn't. It just has a flat backside, and that's the connect.
Nice thing is though, for a small unit, they still have a lot of controls on it, which is good. So
Oh yeah.
a lot of things are small like that, like the Blofeld doesn't have a lot of controls. The Virus Snow, the TI Snow, didn't have a lot of controls on it, but these guys kept controls, which is good. So
I don't know what else came out this week. I wasn't really looking. I was busy working with some Raspberry
Montage M, everyone.
Pi stuff.
yeah,
Only probably the biggest synthesizer release of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's hear about that one then.
Wow.
Robbie.
It's a beast. I mean, it's everything you'd expect a montage to be. Super powerful. Of course, now it's got the ANX analog engine in there, which is way better than, people were saying, oh, if it's like if it's like this one, the AM1X, it'll be great, but it surpasses that. I mean, it's not an AM1X. To get that little myth out of the way, it's got 3 oscillators for a start. It's much more akin to a really decent analog synth, and sounds amazing. 16 voice polyphony, ring modulator, FM modulation in there as well. There's a whole bunch of stuff. It's a really powerful, sounds amazing, and can definitely do those CS80 sounds, which of course, coupled with the polyphonic aftertouch keybed that you get in the big version, the M8X.
Longer said he would sell his DX5 to buy it.
He wasn't joking either. He wasn't joking.
Yeah, right.
He's going to sell a whole bunch of stuff. I think I really want that. But it's big and it's expensive. I mean, over here in the UK, it's just over $4,000 for the M8X, and I was slightly disappointed with the fact that they didn't put didn't put a polyphonic aftertouch keyboard in the 61 and the 76 note versions, because it's not like they don't exist.
Right.
Yeah, sure, put this wonderful new GEX keybed in the 8, which apparently the guys at Yamaha on Saturday were telling me that it is incredible to play. It just feels incredible. And I heard the other day that it's based on electromagnetics. I don't know. I've yet to see the real specs of that, but it's supposed to be an amazing keybed for a hammer action that has polyphonic aftertouch on a synthesizer. It's got to have a fairly light touch, but then hammer actions you can hope for a bit of heft. So they reckon it's nailed. But Hydrasynth do 49 key and 76 key. Fatah do 49, 61 and 76, I believe, in poly aftertouch. So it's not as if they can't do it. It can be done. It just seemed a silly little thing to leave out. But yeah, maybe not everybody wants it. But if you're going to get a Yamaha with a virtual analog engine that's comparable to some of the stuff that they've done in the past, it just seems a bit of a slight oversight, unless they plan to do, Montage M Plus in a couple of years' time and stick, Poly, so get everybody to upgrade again in a few years. But that just seems odd. I know it receives Poly Aftertouch, and if a lot of people have got Hydrosynths or this new Chord Key stage that's coming out, which seems to be quite an affordable Poly Aftertouch controller, then yeah, you can get it that way, but you still got to spend another £500.
Plus, going way back, weighted keypads generally didn't even have aftertouch at all. Like I think the TS10 was Poly AT, but the TS12 I don't think even had aftertouch. I can't remember.
The KX88 has channel Aftertouch.
Does
But
it
not
have?
Poly?
Okay. Yeah.
It doesn't have Poly.
It's just a weird thing to have it on a weighted keypad. I mean, it can work, but it's just kind of a strange idea.
I think so. Yeah, some people do have an aversion to it on a weighted keyboard.
Because you're meant to, hammer those things sometimes, and then that if you push too hard, you'll trigger the AT without wanting to.
I mean, you can turn it off on a per patch.
You have to turn it off, basically, yeah.
But no, it's a remarkable machine, and the improvements, not just the fact you've got this new ANX engine in there, which sounds incredible. You've got improved AWM2, which was pretty damn good as it was. Let's be honest. And you've got double the RAM. So it's nearly 10 gig of RAM storage, preset RAM storage, and then nearly 4 gig, which is about double what you had of user RAM storage for samples. So that's a lot of stuff you can get in there. The whole interface has been redesigned and looks a lot more navigable, and you've got a second screen which is dynamic, so depending whatever you're on, it will show stuff, and you can send information to that screen and send it back to the main. It does look a very quick, capable sort of UI. The analog circuitry, the digital to analog circuitry is supposed to be super improved, so the audio output is even better. I mean, that was the one thing with Montage was the audio outs were beautiful. Not so much on the Modi X, they cut back on that. Although you could get the better Montage quality if you used audio out of the USB, but not everybody wants to do that. And it's an audio interface. The Montage is 6 in, 32 out USB audio interface. So, it could be the very center of a lot of people's studios, let alone, gigging. So, yeah, there's loads to love about it.
Of course, you can't have the AN one without the ribbon. So they added the ribbon, which is nice.
Well, the ribbon's always been on the Montage.
Has it? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. They've always had a ribbon. And I was, when we were speculating about it, weeks ago when we first sort of learned and saw the leaks and thought we knew what was coming, I thought, well, if Hydrosynth has a ribbon strip and Arturia's Polybrute has a ribbon strip, why not put one on this at the top, a nice long one?
A nice good one, yeah.
But they've stuck with the small one, but they've changed it so it's got like 5 zones, I think, on there.
Yeah, segments on it. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can use it as a nice slidey thing. Obviously, it's only short, but you can also use it as a kind of a switch thing as well, because you just assign different functions to those zones, so you can then just tap a zone. And one thing I saw it being used for was the organs, because it's got the
Leslie thing.
It's got the Leslie emulation, or the rotary. We call it the rotary emulation on there. And of course, on a Hammond, you have a switch to your left that's off, slow, and fast. So you just assign the ribbon to those zones to off, slow, and fast, and so it's a natural kind of fit for someone. They didn't put a proper modelled organ emulation, which a lot of people were asking for.
Yeah.
It's got some really good organ sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got some good organ sounds, and you can use the faders as drawbars, although there's only 8 of them, not the sort of traditional 9. But you can use them as drawbars. So I think it feels like they've done a bit of a halfway house on that one. Maybe they don't want to eat into the sales of their, is it CK range or CK I think is the organ stuff. So they just maybe they figure that people that want organs take one of those instead. So but yes, it looks very nice, and I can't wait to get. I'm going to maybe pop down to the Yamaha store in London at some point and see if I can get a play.
Yeah, I have the old Modi X, and I felt a bit cheated when they released the Plus. Um,
You can upgrade it though,
what?
unofficially. Yep. If you
Yeah,
buy
yeah, I can
the
upgrade it, but it's
Modi X Plus board and just
yeah,
swap it, you have a
yeah.
Modi X Plus.
But what's the price of that?
That I don't know, but
Oh,
I was speaking to some people about it, and they've said, "Oh yeah, if you can buy the Modi X Plus main board, all you got to do is just swap it out with the one that's in there, and you have a Modi X Plus." So
But you're
yeah,
still missing the aftertouch, right? Those bastards.
exactly,
yeah,
it was
yeah. Still that. Yeah,
that was just bonkers that they even with the Plus they didn't think about just put some just channel after touch.
yeah,
Basic, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Just weird. It's a
Yeah,
very
I don't
nasty
understand.
key bed on there. I don't know. It's not the FSX that you get on the regular non-88 montages, which is kind of a was it FEX? I think was it FSX. I always get their keyboard designations all mixed up. I can't remember what the
It's
DX7 was.
FEX and GEX, right? Those are
Yeah, I
two.
think so.
Yeah.
I think the original was FSX, and then the FEX is the new version. But it's a really it's a traditionally nice DX based, or certainly DX7 style key bed, which obviously lots of people love those for. Why they couldn't have put that on the montage for the price? I mean, it's not cheap
Yeah.
considering it's supposed to be a budget montage. But there you go. There you go. I had one here. I had the 7 Plus for a few months at Yamaha loaned me, and apart from setting it up for Manny to use last week, didn't really spend much time on it at all. It didn't make me go, ooh.
Though
Go
we
figure.
can't see it, it's because he has no camera on. Crashhead is here. Welcome.
Ooh.
Hello.
Hello.
Hiya. Any news on Kent?
So I spoke to him this morning. He's still a bit, but he's okay. Like, yeah, as okay as he can be. His brain's still a bit scrambled and fried, but yeah, he's. I've insisted, in the most strongest terms, that he seeks medical attention
Yeah.
Yeah.
ASAP.
Good.
But for an agoraphobic, it's
I know it's
not
going to be
a
difficult.
simple
Isn't
thing
it?
to do. So, yeah, but I spoke to him this morning, and he seemed, he was able to talk to me, and obviously he remembered who I was, which was always a good thing. So yeah, he's
Good.
yeah. Hopefully it'll just like it does before. I think it's just he's had these episodes before, and they sort of come and go.
Yeah, my mate had a similar one. He got diagnosed with I think either it's called a mini or a micro stroke, where you get a slight
Yeah.
blockage of the brain. He went blind
Yeah.
for like 30 seconds.
Yeah. My TIAs. That's I think that's the official term because my mother-in-law has them.
Transient, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
transient stroke. Yeah.
Transient ischemia. Yeah.
But the thing is, you can't unless you're in a medical establishment with all of the attendant gear to monitor it, because they're so short. It's difficult to tell. There's usually like a trace that they can
Yeah, like a
use
fingerprint you can look at.
Yeah. And they can say, we think that's what you've had, because that's what they do with mother-in-law. Because sometimes you can go around there and her words are all over the place. They're all in the wrong. She's saying the right words, but in the wrong order, a bit more common wise.
Yeah.
Or she just struggles to say stuff, and then she just has this kind of vacant, glazed over look, like she's just on another planet. And then, like 10 minutes later, everything starts to sort of gradually fit back into place. And by the time you've got to the hospital say, well, we think it was a TIA.
Yeah.
So she's on blood thinners and all that kind of thing to stop.
Yeah.
it
When I had a stroke a few years ago, some of the people in the hospital were like talking gobbledygook because all their language got all messed up.
Yeah.
It depends where it hit.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
my grandmother's on warfarin the last 5 years of her life. Just
Yeah.
pain in the ass.
Yeah. So yeah, fingers crossed. He should be back to normal. Oh yeah, what's normal for Kent?
Back to Kent.
Back to regular Kent at some point soon. He might pop up in here. I said this was going on. He might pop up in the chat, but yeah, I spoke to him this morning, so he's he's still around.
Good. Good news.
Indeed.
It probably didn't help the extra stress of recabling his studio again,
Yeah. I'll tell you what it is. It's the modular. That's what it is. It's what's done.
Yeah,
it.
that's a bunch.
Told you, Ken. Shouldn't have done it.
He needs to label all
no.
those leads, doesn't he? That'll give him something to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he has
Do you-
enough different colors. He can color code the function. So
Oh yeah, that's true. Robbie, do you know what the boot time is on that montage? Did you anyone ask?
I don't know. Because obviously this was the stupid thing at Synthfest, like 2 days before it was officially announced, or 2.5, I suppose. The guys at Yamaha, I said, "Oh, isn't it a shame that the new montage isn't being announced until I think it was 7 p.m. US Pacific on Monday," and they were fuming that they couldn't have brought it. So unfortunately, no, I've not seen one yet in the flesh. I'm very much looking forward to it, but I'm assuming that it's got a faster processor and obviously faster memory and stuff. I don't know.
I'm just wondering how it stacks up because I know that Roland stuff boots up pretty quickly, and Korg stuff boots up not very quickly.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Manny was in the chat, but although I suppose when he was working on it, it wasn't in a
Might not be a thing he
state.
noticed. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, the
I mean,
Core Gun 3
Modi
is a slow booter. That's
Modi X wasn't it wasn't too much of a slouch, should I say?
Right.
But
Okay. Well, hopefully it's cool.
yeah, fingers crossed.
Yamaha make good stuff anyway, so
Yeah,
you'd hope so.
Yeah, I have put a request in for a review model, but I'm pretty certain that's not going to happen.
They'll just send you the 88 one, won't they? Just to be like,
Oh, I
have,
wish
have
they
the
would.
big one. You had to find
Yeah.
some room then.
Yeah, something would have to go. But actually, Tuesday I'm going to look at some studio space, so I might be able to accommodate at some point. But yeah, it's a big. The thing is, if you look at the 88, I mean, not only is it obviously it's an 88,
It's really deep, isn't it?
it's the top to bottom, even at the the front edge, it's a good like 6 inches from the top of the keys to the base of the unit. It's a really really big thing. So good luck to anybody lugging one of those around.
Yeah. Yeah, you need your road crew.
Indeed, yeah, that's a shame. Shame that it wasn't on. It's funny because there was a lot of stuff this week that came out that could have been at Synthfest but wasn't. Like 1010 were at Synthfest, and they were showing the blue box Eurorack version, and they weren't showing the Tangerine, which they put out on 1010, which obviously they wanted to wait for October 10th to do that. But yeah, there was an Akai APC 64, which would have been really great to get your hands on, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that got released after Synthfest, which was slightly annoying. But there you go. We'll have to wait till Super Booth.
But being a drummer, did you ever go on that Yamaha FGDP thing?
I did, yeah. It's surprisingly good for me, because when you play finger drums, which most of the time I have to do because I can't put the kit up at the moment. Like I generally sort of go in and have to reassign pad positions so that everything's kind of firing off the right fingers on the right hands. And with this, everything, those clever wide buttons, they're very useful. So because then you could just use your thumbs for those, or you can use any finger. So it's much more natural feeling.
I've looked into the manual as well. You can select individually how each key will play, and you can even fix certain keys. So if you want to have a key that you want to just flick with, so you're not going to put a lot of effort into it, you can turn that into just being like a switch.
Yeah, no, it's
can you do repeats or ARPs on the keys?
Yep.
On the top 8 ones, yeah.
Pressure based.
Yeah,
Is it
Actually,
pressure
you
based
probably
too?
do them all of them, but yeah, definitely on the top 8.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can do rolls and fills and things like up there. And,
yeah,
and it's pressure sensitive as well, isn't it? Each key is pressure.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. Yeah.
It's a very clever thing, and the sounds are they're good Yamaha AWM sounds in there.
Yeah,
and the speaker, surprisingly,
7 watt. It's supposed to be quite loud.
It is, and it's quite it's got some heft, I guess is probably the right word. It does sound obviously it's not high fidelity, but it's good for what it is. So yeah,
interesting stuff.
Yeah, I like that. There was a lot of people. They had a whole bench with like 8 of them set up, and that was always full.
I
Looks
guess
like
the one
fun.
without the screen talks to you. Is that what they said? Tells you what's
I didn't
going
try
on.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah, the 30 does. Yeah,
Yeah.
the cheaper version. Yeah, but yeah, looks like fun. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
Kent's ordered one. I've
He
ordered one.
has. Yeah.
So.
Kent's is stuck in customs apparently.
All right.
So
I'm
it's-
getting mine from Anderton's. Mine's at the
I
end of
think
the
he
month.
did too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. He just said to him the other day, I said, "Did you get yours yet?" And he said, "No. Apparently, it's stuck in customs or something, which is odd." But
Yeah.
hopefully, get it soon.
Okay, on.
Yes. What else was new? Oh, there's the APC 64. Looks very nice for an Ableton controller.
Yeah, good price.
Very good price. Very good. I'm seriously interested in that. But
I like the what do you call it? The 8 faders. You can like program. That can be useful.
yeah, and the fact that you can control external stuff as well as have it synced up.
Yeah,
I
it's
think-
got a bit of standalone, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I already have a Force, which kind of does that. It doesn't have all the sliders on it, but it does kind of the same thing.
Hey up.
Oh, he sold his ass again.
Hey,
Hey.
Hey
go,
up.
look.
Hey up. Hey up. Speak of the thing, and it turns up.
Hi, Steve. You all right? Hi, guys.
Yeah.
John.
Talk
do
to
you
me.
reckon?
How amazing is it? Do you love it? Have you mowed it yet? No.
I spent about an hour on it yesterday. I think it's amazing. Absolutely love it. And I can't finger drum, but
It's a load of fun, isn't it? I'm going to guess.
it's great fun. The only criticism I've got so far is that I want to adjust the velocity of the bass drum, and I have to do that by converting one of the drums into a user pad. I can't. It doesn't remember changes I make on the factory presets.
Yeah. You can
That's
say
all.
you save registrations or sessions, don't you? So you can.
Yeah, you do.
You got 50 registrations or 200.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is now. A lot
Yeah.
though. But yeah.
But it's great. It's really good. So
Wow.
I am learning to finger drum
Have you bought that for you, or have you bought that as a shoppy thing to sell
for me.
for you? You treated yourself.
Oh yeah,
Well,
birthday. I had birthday money.
Oh, there you go then.
Yeah,
21 again.
That's always what
Yeah.
I tell my missus. What did you use? Birthday money. Honest, I'd say that.
Yeah. How many birthdays a year do you have, Rob?
Exactly.
365.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
all incredibly old.
See, now I can put it through the business. I can just, I'll put it in the business.
Well,
There's a
yeah.
track
And I put it through the business. The only people I found that had it in stock was Music Matters,
Oh yeah. Well, I'm
and
impressed.
it came really quickly. I ordered it Wednesday, or it came yesterday.
Yeah, there was like an initial batch that went out to shops, which I don't think was very many. Then they all went, and you got to wait for the next shipment to turn up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sweetwater
and
doesn't
the-
have it in stock.
Yeah, Gear for Music don't have it till January, I reckon.
Yeah, what Anderson's saying, mine should turn up end of this month.
All right, that's all right. Yeah, no, you like it. I mean, I didn't. I was not interested in the cheaper one because I want to be able to put my own samples in it.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. But no, so far it's really, really good fun,
Cool.
and I love the fact it's so portable. The fact is, I don't need anything else. I just need that. And you're
Yeah.
right about the speaker. The speaker's really cool. I've not put it in headphones yet, but fantastic.
Cool. Nice one. I'm sort of
And I
jealous.
did play it at Synthfest and was really impressed.
Yeah, I think Yamaha might be making a little bit of a comeback.
Well, they are on that.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see like next year they might do like a pro version, something that goes up against the Roland Hansonic, that type of thing. If this takes off, there seems to be a lot of people interested in it.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, definitely. I think the other interesting thing we didn't mention about Montage M was the fact that there's a plugin.
Yes, but probably only for the people who've bought the montage.
Well, what they're saying at the moment is that early 2024, there'll be a basic version of the Montage M plugin, which will be free to all registered Montage owners. And then that's going to have all the Montage sound engines and limited editing capability. And then in the summer of 2024, they're saying you'll have a plugin that is essentially a Montage in a computer.
Will Steinberg get a Montage plugin? Because they own Steinberg, don't they?
They do. And are they going to make this something that you can...
Or will there be like an AN1X plugin, maybe? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I would just like this to be the start of Yamaha plugins. You know, let's see Yamaha do what Korg did or Roland do.
Yeah.
You know, and bring their legacy instruments back as plugins. I think, you know, they've got the technology to do it. And there'll definitely be a market. I mean, who wouldn't be up for a Yamaha CS80 or an AN1X or even the digital stuff, you know, in plug-in form, if it's made by Yamaha and it's good.
Yeah, SY99 plugin would be nice, wouldn't it?
Cool, yeah.
Or an FS1, was it FS1 or whatever?
FS1R plugin would be amazing, if it, you know, because that's what I'm still baffled by the fact that they didn't put that in the FMX engine, seeing as the FMX engine is essentially half of an FS1R. So
might be on their roadmap, but they might not have quite got that release, you know. You don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. But no, it's lovely to have a suite of Yamaha legacy plugins. You know, some of the early SY stuff, you know, the SY2 or CS stuff.
Even the CS1. I had a CS1. It was 50 quid when I got it.
I think people are doing it. You know, is it Baby Audio do their version of a CS01, don't they?
Okay, didn't know.
It's only about what I paid for. It's only about, I think it was 50 quid or just under 50 quid.
Battery operated orchestra. The singer uses a CS01.
Yeah. So
But nice to have some synths with breath controllers again as well.
Yes, yeah.
That like disappeared, didn't it?
That's why I bought that Yamaha module that has breath controller and some other goodies on it to add it to anything.
Yeah. Yeah, should be interesting.
I have to say why Rancy is not doing his stream, and that's because he's having a wedding anniversary. So it's a happy day for him.
He's putting us all to shame. You see, he's taking time off of us to actually spend time with the important people in his life. Yeah.
No, he's been sensible.
Yeah. Whereas I'm spending my wedding anniversary at the end of this month in London. Not with the
missus. Your wife or not?
No, working.
Well, it's my wedding anniversary on Thursday. Still going to buy a card yet. We're going to go out for the day, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think I was about to do the stream today, but because my wife has a birthday, so I didn't plan it. And then late last night she said, "I'm going out and drinking some coffee with a friend, so you can do your stream." Okay. So that's why nothing's planned. It's just improvisation, improvising. So we've talked Yamaha. By the way, Yamaha wasn't Yamaha the first one who the first company that did a synthesizer with polyphonic aftertouch, or were there others before?
It's a good question. I don't know, to be honest. Don't know.
I mean, the supposedly is it the clavichord that does it? An actual physical. So.
Yeah.
What was
even
CS80 was what, 77? Or was it earlier than that? Was it 76? Did the Prophet T8 have poly aftertouch? That was a few years later, wasn't it? And there was an Ensoniq. What Ensoniq had
All of them after the Mirage, pretty much.
Okay.
EPS, EPS 16, TS, ESQ. I think actually ESQ1 may not have. I think that's one of the ones that didn't. Just had regular aftertouch, but definitely the EPS. And I verified it the other day because I forgot, and I fired up a patch and went, "Hey, look at the Poly AT." So that's an old unit too.
Let's ask Google. Google will tell us the truth.
I was about to say that even a trumpet has it, but you can't play polyphonic on a trumpet, or can you?
You can probably get overtones, so it's not really polyphonic.
Yeah.
No.
Polyphonic aftertouch. Only a few keyboards offer this thing. Yeah,
Bagpipes.
Yeah.
I've never heard a good emulated bagpipes on any synth, which I think is a brilliant thing.
The
Bagpipes.
app.
Cool Prophecy does it.
We had some guests many years ago from Scotland who slept here, and in the morning around 7 o'clock we woke up because he couldn't sleep, the man, so he got up and started playing his pipe. Damn, that was noisy.
I hate bagpipes. I hate Scottish bagpipes. Let's get it right, because Northumbrian bagpipes are lovely.
Yeah, I didn't
But
mind them
Scottish
before that
bagpipes-
event, but
Well, the Scottish bagpipes invented as like a war cry type thing. That's why it sounds so horrible.
Yeah,
Like screaming.
I'm sure you're right. Yeah, I mean,
Well, there's an
when we
Ulian
stayed in
Pipes
that
plugin for iOS that's really good.
when we stayed in that grotty guest house in August, and then they kicked up the bagpipes halfway through our interview when we were recording our interview. It was just horrendous. You could hear it everywhere in the house. It's terrible.
But actually, as Chris had said, it is aftertouch on a bagpipe. It's true aftertouch.
Oh yeah, you actually squeeze the thing, don't you? on the drum.
Yeah.
But the drones you can't tweak. You're just using the chanter for the most part.
Yeah. Well, what you need, Ian, is when you're doing stuff like that, you don't want noise cancelling headphones. You want bagpipe cancelling headphones.
Exactly.
That would help, wouldn't it?
Or you want to?
I'd buy them.
Apparently, because I live just outside of York. Apparently, you can still shoot a Scotsman on the bar walls in York.
Sounds completely reasonable.
If there's a man playing bagpipes, I may well get a bow and arrow and just have a go.
Or cricket bat.
I'll put a link in the chat here for the iOS Ulian Pipes app if you guys want to play with that. It's pretty cool, actually.
The Ulian pipes are much sweeter.
Yeah, the Irish bagpipes.
Yeah.
I did actually invite Mark Barnes, so we could have had the subject. Yeah, but he was busy. So.
That ending of what's that remake of the Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978, I think it was, where they end with Amazing Grace on the bagpipes. It's an awesome scene. It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Question to the
Is that
panel.
the one with Donald Sutherland?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Question to the panel. Apart from bagpipes, what's the most annoying instrument?
The Erhu played badly.
The banjo doesn't get a lot of love in my house, if I'm honest.
Yeah, banjo's not a big favourite here either.
Really?
And I have tried to play a banjo. I for a while when we had the shop, we had a 6-string banjo where you use just ordinary guitar chords. I messed around with it.
They're all 5-string. It was a 6-string.
I would
No, I
say
get
the
6-string
big gong-gongs, or what they are called. If you have a child who is rehearsing on that whole day, I don't know. Is it called gong-gong on in English?
Gong.
I don't know
It's a big round plate.
Like the rank gong at the beginning of the movie.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Danish, it's gong-gong.
Gong.
I made those little kid pianos are pretty annoying when they're played badly. So very loud.
Jim Close just said accordion. No, I have a problem with that.
Oh,
I quite like the accordion.
Oh, he's treading on dangerous territory there.
He is. Yeah.
Accordion Zydeco music is great.
Come in here and say that, Jim Glue.
It's
a good job my accordion is packed away, because otherwise I'd get out and be playing it.
Oh,
there you go.
There's a threat.
Well, there's that nerd stereotype from like the high school movies with the one kid playing the accordion gets teased mercilessly. So
Yeah.
Well, he gets accordionized, does he?
Yeah.
What do you call the small instrument you play with your
Harmonica?
Harmonica.
Yeah. Actually, that's the name of another instrument in Danish, but that's okay. But a harmonica. My wife's son just bought a harmonica. He just found out after 5 minutes he can't play it, so he gave up, and that was good. we were so happy.
And the neighbours were.
Yeah, probably.
The trick to harmonica, most people don't know. You have to go, you blow in and blow out and suck in to get the different sounds out of it.
Yeah, my dad
And
has.
that's
one
the
of
trick.
those,
And they're using your tongue too, which is really hard to mute.
Yeah, but this one was different. It was with
it's got slide
chromatic.
The slider too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's chromatic harmonica.
Yeah, those are nice. I have one of those.
Yeah, they are nice actually.
Kazoos. I like that one. I hate kazoos. Everybody thinks they can play it, and like nobody really can.
Yeah. Well, it's based on your tone. If you're tone deaf, then it's the kazoo sucks.
What is the worst instrument the son can play?
The son can play.
Yeah, the son in the family.
All right.
Yeah. What is it? Drums?
Drums to wake everybody up. Yeah.
Kiddies drum kit. Yeah.
Drums are brass. Because I used to play euphonium in elementary school, and it was hard to practice at home because it's so damn loud.
Or if you got a kid who's learning to play the violin, like good luck.
Oh God, yeah.
But
actually, the loudest instruments are usually brass instruments. So brass and wood. Well, when I say woodwind, I mean saxophones are loud when people are learning them. But obviously trumpets, any of the sort of, that sort of wind family.
Yeah, that's why I got an Akai sax. What do you call it? Wind synth.
Oh, the Iwi.
Silent, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really good for everybody that knows me.
I wanted a keyboard or piano as a kid, and my parents bought me an accordion. That's actually what we call harmonica in Danish. I went to 2 lessons, and I didn't practice between the lessons. I've always had the feeling for hearing and playing. I don't know what it's called in English and Danish. It's gehør. At the second lesson, I just played what I was supposed to play, and I hadn't practiced. And he said, "Oh, you're so good." I just thought it was shit, so I stopped playing the accordion. It was not me.
I remember 4th grade, we had a room full of these, not this electronic one, but these.
Oh yeah, recorders. Yeah.
And they call them song flutes because they didn't have the special holes that recorders have, the double hole.
Yeah.
They're just straight, 5-hole, 7-hole flutes, and really, really annoying in a whole room full of people playing those.
Yeah.
What's the most beautiful instrument? Not just to play home, but in the world.
Piano, probably.
DX7. No.
And harp.
I'd never guessed that, ever. What, a DX7 piano? There you go. It's a good compliment.
Harp.
An FM synthesizer.
Harp is probably the most beautiful instrument.
Yeah.
They ain't cheap, are they, harps? Hard look.
No.
Even a
No.
cheap harp is really, really expensive.
Harp or hammered dulcimer
thousands.
is really nice too.
Hammer dulcimer is nice, yeah.
Yeah.
I still think the piano takes the actual, a proper piano takes a lot of beating.
A good
Because
one, yeah.
Because it can be used for like almost every musical genre, pretty much. You can have it for classical, rock, pop, jazz. It's all. It kind of fits a lot of things, and if you play it, when it's played well, it's just wow.
It can open it up and do weird stuff with the strings too. That makes it fun.
It's quite interesting because it's not a very old instrument, is it? Piano.
Yeah, it's only a few hundred years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really, really cemented itself into, being the thing.
Oh, my mouse. A trickle.
And it had no pitch wheel or anything like that. Got no polyphonic aftertouch. None of that. Got no
We have foot
ribbon.
pedals. A little bit of. You can do a little bit with it. But.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sostenuto pedal's quite handy, isn't it? Yeah. And you can prepare the piano. Put there's is it John Cale?
John
John
Cage,
Cage,
wasn't it?
John
Cage,
yeah,
wasn't it?
sorry, yeah, Cale.
They had one of those at Stanford. Went up to Karma last time.
Yeah.
This the whacked out prepared piano.
UVI do a really good prepared piano.
It's like when I went to see Scar last night, one of the supports, and they didn't say who they were, so I think it was just students at York University. And this guy, he actually played guitar, but he had this distressed piano, and he had these little springs on little motors hitting the strings. It sounded amazing.
They did that at Stanford as well. They had one that was moving stuff around on the strings. Yeah.
I think he was doing it with sort of a Max MSP patch.
Yeah.
Because it did sound really, really good. But we really wanted him to sort of explain exactly what he'd done, and he just did his bit, which was great. But I've got no idea who his name is or anything.
You're quiet.
When people are reading now.
If you should build your own synthesizer.
Done that.
Okay.
I did it in Max MSP.
I ain't got time for that.
I had sleepless nights. I built a replica of a Korg DW8000. It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
I was planning to build the old Electra Formant, and I got the book in a Christmas present, but I never got to it. It was when I was a teenager.
I mean, the only reason I did it was part of a module I had to do when I did my masters. But otherwise, I would never bothered entertaining that, doing that. It took me months and months to do it.
I couldn't be bothered even with that Korg thing where it's basically you can assemble it in about 5 seconds. Can't be bothered.
Well, the NTS one.
The NTS one.
But my idea of assembling a keyboard is plugging the AC lead in. That'll do.
Yeah.
That's enough for me.
Yeah, and the MIDI cord.
Yeah. Or the headphones or whatever.
Yeah.
You said Wiggy there.
Anyone ever played a left-handed piano?
Take a drink.
Left-handed piano.
Yeah, because when I had Atari Trackman 32, they had a thing where you could switch your keys to be completely the opposite. So your lowest key's on the right-hand side and your highest key's on the left.
Wow.
It's nuts. Really nuts. It's like, you haven't got a clue. It's all weird. Your brain goes like, what? How'd you do this?
I have a friend who is a really good pianist, and he used to record his, he'd just do like improvisations or cover versions, and he'd put his phone at the end of the keyboard and he'd do this. And it took me a few videos to realise what was going on, because his phone was mirroring.
Yeah.
So he'd be going down here, and you'd be playing all the low notes and thinking, what the hell's going on? And then I realised that the video was mirrored him.
Weird.
He was technically playing a left-handed piano.
Well, yeah, he looked like it.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen those Thomas Henry synth books where he how to build a synth from scratch, basically? I had one back in the early 90s, back when I was doing a lot of electronics stuff, building stuff from magazines and kits and totally from scratch. And I almost was going to build a modular analog synth back then. And then I looked at how much the pages and pages and pages. I go, yeah, I'm not doing this. I'll be working on this for a whole year, you know.
Well, Robin Vincent with his what was it? The black.
Oh,
black organization thing. I mean, that would look nuts. I mean,
the CS80 copy.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah.
I think he's still building it, isn't he?
And that comes
Is he still
with
working
instructions
on
and all
it?
the bits.
I thought we'd got to. Last time I looked, he'd got to sort of doing software side, installing the software. So I thought he'd finished it, but
Jesus.
Yeah.
No, it's.
No.
I mean, I don't solder these days because I have a problem with depth of vision, which is not great.
Yeah, you don't want to burn your hands.
Yeah.
Doesn't look good.
Just to come up with a question, if someone blew an EMP, what would you play instead when you can't play synthesizers?
Guitar.
Yeah,
Drums.
guitar.
Yeah, guitar's not bad.
Yeah.
Guitar or flute.
Kazoo.
Drums out.
Kazoo, yeah.
I'd probably select a piano if possible.
Yeah, piano would work, wouldn't it?
Actually, I guess, did I show the Marxophone on one of the streams before? I'd like to play that.
Hurdy-gurdy. Like
Marxophone, it's basically a harp, like an auto harp without the chord keys. And it has like it's like a typewriter, has the arms, and you can bounce the flexible arms, the little playheads on the keys and on the strings, and get trills and ratchets. You know, it's Lalo Schifrin used it on a bunch of his tracks, and then Portishead sampled it for that. Is it Hard Times? What's that song called? The Nobody Loves Me song. That's a Lalo Schifrin sample of a Marxophone.
Yeah.
I finally bought one. They're like 100 years old. They're crazy.
And what about a church organ? Now we know how filters
hang
sound.
on. We were talking about sounds we hated. There you go. That's one.
Yeah. But
You're talking about the original synthesizer, man. It's great.
Yeah,
Church organ
but I was
sound brilliant.
thinking, thinking it further. We know how a synthesizer uses filters with resonance and all that. Can we build a filter for a church organ so it sounds good?
Only a low pass if you turn it right down.
Yeah,
It'd be perfect. We'll be able to hear it.
yeah. So
Just
actually
have
you
parishioners in it,
isolate all. You put curtains on all the walls in the church and then
Just fill it full of styrofoam, you'll be fine.
Saying that, something like the organ they've got at the Royal Albert Hall is magnificent. I mean, that's proper. Yeah, but the thing is with all, I mean, I watched. There was a video, wasn't there, of the woman that plays it, who did Interstellar with Hans Zimmer and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
And you've got all these banks of, these pulls that you
Stops,
for an instrument stops. That's the one. And you've got clarinet and bassoon and tuba and trumpet, and yet they all sound like an organ. They don't sound anything like the things that they say on the knobs.
So a bit like early Roland synthesizers.
Exactly.
Had presets.
Yeah.
They started doing some local concerts on the lunchtime in the church, local church, and actually they were. I mean, it's classical organ music predominantly, which is not my bag at all. But just for sort of 40 minutes on the lunchtime, it was really nice to go. When they did them in the summer.
But those labels, saxophone, etc., do they use the frequencies in those registers, or do they filter them out? Because I think it would be smart to have an organ where you can filter out some registers so a saxophonist can play next to you.
That's the opposite. I think
I don't know if that's
provides
possible.
that register, doesn't it? I think. That's what it does.
Yeah, I think so. I'm
Not that I
sure.
love organs or anything. But,
Our Sam Battle, he's restoring one, isn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah.
Okay, back to synthesizers. We know about them.
I'm trying to find a clip. There's Rick Wakeman playing a church organ. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
You got to hear this.
Andy Richards as well.
is he wearing a cape?
No. Got long hair though.
Well, I say yeah, his hair is his cape now, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, and Andy Richards who played on like pretty much everything in the 80s. He started, with organs. I think didn't he do something with Spitfire? I forget the chapel. There's a chapel, isn't there, that's got a big organ that they sampled.
I started on a Hammond.
Yeah.
Hammond B3, which wasn't mine. My father was a club steward in a workingmen's club, and they had a Hammond and a Leslie there. And I just wanted to start learning to play because I wanted to get into bands. So I bought a Rolling Stones songbook and started learning, paint it black on a Hammond organ. It was great. It's brilliant.
Me and a friend used to mess around on his dad's Technics, the double manual home organ type thing. Yeah. With a rudimentary drum machine, with a bossa nova.
Oh, God, yeah. I had one of them built in as well. Yeah.
There's a place not far from here that is like a museum of these kinds of instruments. So you've got all the old Wurlitzer organs, from the cinemas and stuff. Every now and again they do big recitals, but it's not my thing. The grannies love it though.
Sure, Chris said, check out the link I just put in chat. If you still hate that, then you definitely hate the church organ. Rick Wakeman playing is beautiful.
Yeah, it's all about who's playing it and what they're playing, I suppose, a lot of the time.
Definitely.
Well, there's so much choice. I mean, those really huge ones with just a giant wall of stops.
Yeah.
It's just amazing what you can get out of it. The Stanford one locally is quite good. I go there sometimes at Christmas, even though I'm not religious, just to go hang out and listen to that amazing pipe organ they have.
Andy, I can't see the link. Post it private here on
Oh, right. Sorry, I forgot.
Then
I
I'll
don't have the
post it.
right. Sorry about that.
So you can do it here on StreamYard.
Your
I'm so
moderator
used to
powers
posting
are no good
stuff.
here.
There's the private thing here.
Audio plugin deals are knocking out the PPG plugin for $19.99 if anyone's interested.
Wow.
With its microscopic user interface.
There's a free plugin from is it Universal?
The
Universal
LA2A.
Audio.
Yeah.
Till the end of the month.
Yeah.
I've just got that. The compressor.
Yeah. The LA2A.
It's good. I've messed around with it a little bit. It's good. I mean, the only hassle is you've got to have you've got to register with them. But
you have to register, and it's iLock.
iLock. Well,
Yeah.
I'd forgotten I had a virtual iLock, so that was all right. Otherwise, had I known that, I wouldn't have bothered because I hate bloody using iLocks. But
I love iLock. So easy to move between different computers and stuff.
Yeah, I have never had a problem. I just don't get the iLock hate. I never have done.
Yeah, never.
It's weird.
Never been my bag, man.
I mean,
But
in
that's
the old
all right.
days, I had some 3D software that required a dongle, and then I would have so that's basically iLock for 3D, and then I had a stick with models on it and a stick with some other stuff on it. So I had my whole collection with me. Just plug it in any damn computer, and I could fire it up. There was no worry about registration. It was great.
I mean, nowadays with iLock Cloud, you don't have to have anything. It's as long as your machine can get to the internet, it's fine. Apparently, I've got $60 of what do they call it? Audio plugin deals thing. You get points, don't you, when you buy stuff?
Oh yeah.
APD rewards. That's it. So I've got $60 to spend. They never have anything I want.
I bought a lot of plugins earlier. Then I changed more to hardware and had the same gas on hardware, but I lost the gas on software plugins. So it was quite healthy for me to see that I really had gas for that. um, and all those what do you call it? All those traps companies are putting out to get you to buy. Now you have that, and if you don't use it before, then you lose that. And
They're just trying to encourage you to open your wallet. That's all they're trying.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not that interested in software synths. I mean, I'm quite happy with the software synths I've got, but I only ever use them if I need something that's close to a particular, like, if I needed a Yamaha synth sound, I would then go to the Arturia. If I wanted a DX7, I would go to a soft synth then. But I mainly use for mixing and mastering.
Yeah, my Logic is used just really for. I'm not very good at singing anyway, but when singing is really bad, I need to fix it. Flex time, I'll launch it for that. Other than that, I'll just stand
Flex
the
time's
MPC.
great.
Yeah,
all that sort of stuff is brilliant on
flex
Logic.
pitch and flex time.
Yeah.
But I used to use Logic quite a lot, but since I got the MPC, it's like I can't be bothered. I don't want to be scooting a mouse pointer around the screen all day, looking at the note and going like, maybe I could just move it a little bit to the left. I'm not sure. It's like, and I don't know, but I don't know about you, but I prefer if you ain't done it right, just delete it, try it again,
start again.
Unless it's a really good performance, apart from the occasional one thing, then I might go on piano roll in the MPC and fix it. Other than that, just record it again.
Yeah, I've done projects where the drummer's dropped a bit of a note where you had to go in and fix it, and stuff like that. But generally, if it's my own stuff, I'd rather go like you. I'd like to go and re-record it really.
Yeah, just feels more because you can get sucked into editing all day long, and you'll lose sight of the thing that you started with. You'd be going, that's brilliant. I got the all in the right place. It sounds really stale now. You fixed one problem and you just created about 4 more. So,
that's why I got away from DAWs mostly. Too much editing, too much choice, and you just monkey with it forever.
What synth shall I use? Look, I've got 5,000 of them. I'm not sure.
I just right-click and quantize to 116. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, if it sounds okay, it sounds okay. But mad, isn't it? Synthesis then. So whistling. Name something that can synthesize human whistling really well, because I've yet to hear one that sounds really good.
The Synclavier whistle was quite good, actually. That was one of the original ones.
That was
okay. So regen then next time you visit.
Tomita used one. I think it was a Casio one.
Actually, the Synclavier whistle is in the regen.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cameron insisted that all of those
might be the deal that gets me to spend some money. Then you never know.
Just for 16. Was it? No, it's more than that. It's 20. It's just over $2,000 for a regen, just for a whistle.
But there are more ways to whistle. You can do the, and you can do the. So which kind are you talking about?
Melodic whistling, as in
just
whistling a tune.
Like that.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, that sounds like them spaghetti western things, doesn't it?
Yeah. That was the prophecy.
That sounds quite good. But you don't see that type of patch on Sims very much anywhere, do you? A good whistle. You get some really naff sounding things. You go, no.
Just a crappy LFO,
Yeah, just some rubbish.
Kent's just said in the chat, Tomita.
That's what I was saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tomita used it on a bunch of stuff, especially the snowflakes are dancing.
Yeah. Definitely.
Hi, Kent, by the way, if you're in the chat.
I think this had a good whistle in it as well, the AM1X.
It does have a whistle. That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Can't remember where the pack.
I was playing with that the other day and found that.
Things you can't search patches on this thing, can you?
No, the Yamaha, it's just so last year.
You're just jealous that you can't afford $4,000, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mind you,
Always.
you're on the Yamaha train now. Now you got your FGD P50.
Well,
Next
no, that's where my Yamaha train.
You haven't bought your
always
other
stop.
house yet, have you? You can
Sorry?
get a caravan that's big enough for a Montage 8, and you're sorted.
Yeah.
Buy 12 roses for your wife.
After Manny and Robbie's presentation at Synthfest, I would like an SY77 or 99.
I've had an SY77. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
cool.
I did have an SY22, which I quite liked as well. I should have never sold it.
That's got a breath controller, by the way. And
What,
it's got 3
77?
wheels. Yeah, and it's got 3 wheels as well. You got an assignable wheel as well as your pitch and mod.
I like the TG33 version with the little joystick. That's really fun.
Yeah, I had a TG33 back in the day, back in the
I did
90s.
too, yeah.
Cool. Weird, because like 2 operator, wasn't it? 2 operator and a
And
sample.
the samples are kind of shit on it, but they're fun to use. So.
Yeah,
Had some good sounds in it.
it
if I
did.
remember rightly.
It did, yeah. So have you found a house yet, Ian?
No,
Still looking?
no. We're going back down again next week and we're going overnight and we're looking at 8 houses, I think, in 2 days.
You think you'll find one? What have you got this like ideal house in your head that you haven't seen yet?
No, we just want a house that's will accommodate our stuff,
Right.
has some parking, and
In the
it's not
areas
in the dodgy
okay,
part
not
of
in-
town.
Yeah, yeah.
Really, we did find a brilliant house which we would have loved to have lived in, but the estate that it was on was really pretty dodgy. So much so there was a burnt out truck on somebody's drive.
Bit of a hint there, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, just
Maybe not for us, this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you burnt the truck, in which case that's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly. Yeah,
You'll find it.
we will.
Remember, one of my friends. They moved house on Christmas Day. It's like, really?
Wow.
Give us a hand. What, on Christmas Day? Oh, go on then.
Yeah.
Mad. It's like, yeah. This time of the year for house moving is difficult.
Yeah. I mean, we've said we're happy to move out if we don't find somewhere. And the people that are buying this time are first-time buyers, so there's no chain with them.
Right.
So it could be as short as 6 to 8 weeks, I suppose. Which is fine. We're happy to put it in storage. We'll go and live with our youngest son in London for a few weeks.
Right. Okay.
No.
Does he know yet?
Oh yeah, no, he offered, and he's got the space.
All right. Okay.
A good thing you have those portable instruments, Ian. You can still play a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. You just
Well,
there, your
that's
finger
why
drum.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got your
Tap.
the little critter guitar thing. You got.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
You could host an EMOM down there, couldn't you? You won't mind.
Well, exactly.
Running.
Because we're looking at Frome more than anywhere else, and they don't have an EMOM down in Frome. So once we settle, the first thing I'll do is we'll get an EMOM set up.
Cool.
Yeah. And if it's not Frome, it's going to be somewhere close to that. We can't afford Bath, so it'll be Castle Carey or Bradford-on-Avon, somewhere like that.
How do you spell Fru?
From Frome.
Oh, Froome. Okay, right. Good.
Yeah.
Is that someone's name?
No, I don't know, but people struggle with it. People say from, or
Yeah.
I don't know where it originates from, but it's not from, obviously.
Yeah.
So do people drive fast there?
Vroom. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of bloody hills, so going down the hill, definitely.
Definitely, yeah. Less so going back up the hill.
It's got some really, really steep hills.
Is Bath a nice area?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And there's sort of quite, musically, so you've got Bristol, which is about 50 minutes away from Frome. Bath is actually 20 minutes by car and probably 15 minutes by train. And there's a whole, the whole music art thing down in the southwest is really, really quite vibrant. So and that's part of the reason for us going there. Plus, we would be central to, to get to London, to get to Exeter, and to get to Southampton, which
So
is
a
where
big music scene, kind of like Austin, Texas. It's just
bars
and music actually, and everything.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the bigger music scene is in Bristol.
Yeah.
But all around that area, there seems to be lots going on, which is nice. And actually, Froome's got a really nice gig venue called the Cheese and Grain. And a couple of theatres and all that sort of stuff. So it's not just music, it's, all of the arts, really.
Interesting.
And it's a beautiful part of the country. Although hilly. But there again, so is East Yorkshire. We got you go outside of town, you got fantastic hills and these rolling dales of the wolds of Yorkshire. It's lovely.
Do you guys have any altitude though, like they have in the hills of Scotland, or not really?
No, not here.
No. Okay.
No.
That's beautiful scenery. I love that. Like the movie Highlander.
Yeah.
No, England is mainly lumps.
Lumps.
Yeah.
I mean, York is at the bottom of a valley. So whenever you go out of York, you're heading up a little bit,
But where do you live, Synth? Were you in California?
Me? Yeah, I'm in Silicon Valley, so I'm surrounded by mountains. There's Mount Hamilton, where the Lick Observatory is.
Yeah.
There's Santa Cruz Mountains to the south. So I can anytime I want to, and go up and get a nice view of the skies, as long as I get away from the light pollution.
What's the music scene like around you? With like live venues and whatever.
You pretty much have to go. I mean, San Jose has got some downtown life here and there, and it's been off and on for years as far as being nice and being kind of thuggy. They had a gentrification of East Palo Alto and a bunch of other areas nearby, which are really bad for a long time, and those people had to go somewhere. So a lot of them started going to San Jose and some other places. So the nightlife got kind of a little bit scary for us, especially if you're like a single woman walking around there. So I mean, I was with a friend one night going, God, this place really changed. And this young lady comes up and goes, hey, do you know where the whatever thing is? I can catch a thing. So I think it's down there, but I'm not sure. I'm like, oh God, I hope she makes it okay, because the crowd that was out that night was really bad. And you don't normally get that in San Francisco unless you're in just a known bad area of San Francisco. So I would say most of the music and nightlife people flock to is San Francisco, even though you have to watch out for feces in the streets.
Yes, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That.
Mad, isn't it?
But it's still a pretty good scene. That's where I go up and do the imams and stuff, and of course a million bars and clubs up there for all kinds of types of music and stuff. But it's just a bit of a haul. Takes me like 40 minutes usually to get up there, driving pretty fast.
You travel quite a lot then when you want to go somewhere. It's quite a bit of a drive.
For that stuff, yeah, like really nice museums, really nice nightlife, and certain fancy restaurants and stuff. You got to drive a bit, but now for the most part, everything's right here. I mean, I can literally just go down the street and get any kind of food I want. Any kind of all my music stores. I always talk about the used store. That's my go-to place that has all the killer deals, as well as Guitar Center. And there were other places around, but they've closed down. They just didn't make it. Pandemic pretty much killed a lot of stuff. But there was actually a modular store for a while in San Jose, which is wild. But I never got there before they closed. By the time I heard about it, they were already closing. Mom and pop music stores are pretty much long gone. Except for band instruments, like if you want to play violin or brass or something like that. There's those kind of stores are around. But I'm surprised Guitar Center is still around. I mean, there must be some kind of kickbacks or organized crime keeping them going, because they're always dead. When you go in there, they're always dead.
Really?
The people there don't know anything. They do have good used stuff once in a while.
Maybe they do most of their selling online. Maybe
they sell a lot online. Yeah.
We've got a music room is a company here in the UK, and I've been in a couple of music room stores, especially one in Bristol. This was a few years ago, and the members of staff were playing football in the store.
Yeah, there you go.
Ouch.
You know, it's just like,
Yeah.
and they closed the one. The one that was in York was originally a company called Banks, which had been going for. They were the Europe's oldest music store, and last year Music Room closed them.
Ouch.
You know?
But
Yeah.
I heard at the weekend that Music Room in London on Denmark Street's gone.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they were bought by Hal Leonard.
That's it.
Hal Leonard, you know, when Hal Leonard bought them, they don't know what to do with music stores. They're a publisher.
Exactly.
You know. So I'm not surprised that so many have gone, because, you know, the parent company don't know what to do with them. Really.
Yeah, because we were talking about Denmark Street, and obviously Roland have opened up there, which is a nice little shop, and Music Room was slap bang next door. But apparently they've shut too now. So
Is Macari still going? Because that was on the corner, wasn't it?
Something's there. I'm not sure if it's Macari's though. I think it might be.
Yeah, I haven't been for a while.
There's
But
a
they
few
actually used to be really, really good little restaurant, like halfway down as well. That me and Matt used to go to fairly regularly when I was in London. It was a sort of fixed menu place, but it was really good.
The whole place has changed since they started redeveloping it, and there's a little bit left, but it's not much. But it was nice to see Roland open up there, and at least
we need more stores opening up there.
Yeah.
You know.
Korg have just opened up a store in Japan, so who knows? You know, there might be a revival of music stores, albeit single brand music stores.
I'm going to say branded music stores, but even so, it's still a music store, isn't it? You know,
I'd rather go into a branded music store than go into something like. Do you remember you used to go back into Academy of Sound or something?
Yeah.
They have at least one employee on the books that wasn't on the Academy of Sound payroll, because it was they were being paid by Roland.
Yeah.
And so they were wearing Academy of Sound uniforms, or polo shirts or whatever, but they were actually paid by Roland and would always guide you towards the Roland stuff, which I thought was very sneaky.
Yeah, Fender were known for doing that, as well as Gibson. I don't know if they still do, but they did a few years ago.
It was an Academy of Sound in Leicester years ago. There's some good people in it, and some idiots, but you'd find the good people to talk to. You get a good an idea of what you're looking at to buy, you know. But yeah, you got to be careful, ain't you?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you know, I'm going to buy a Soma Terra, but I didn't want to play it before actually buying it. And I know you can always buy it and send it back, but I don't like to do that particularly.
You didn't want to play it because you didn't want to rush.
I did want to play it. That's the whole point. Before I bought it, I wanted to play it.
Right, okay.
Right? And I originally signed up
cool
to buy it direct from Selma, but they couldn't tell me what the import duty was going to be. So I thought I'm going to wait until it's available through dealers and buy from a dealer here. So I will buy. What's the price
you're going to get there? How much is it there?
1350, something like that.
Yeah.
1,300 and something. I
That's
got it straight
made out of a tree, isn't it? The Terra.
Sorry?
Made out of part of a tree. Is that a Terra?
Just a slice of a tree,
Slice of wood, yeah.
Hopefully not the one from up north that got cut down.
No, hope so. But no, I definitely want one. So that'll probably be my Christmas present to myself.
You're having a few Christmas presents, you, aren't you?
No, birthday present. That was a birthday
Oh,
present.
sorry, birthday.
No,
Someone actually
no.
used a Terra on one of the hardware jams a few weeks ago.
You did.
I don't know who it was, but it was in the stream. I go, wow, it's got a Terra.
Yeah. But somebody played. They've got this really good electronic night up in Whitby, which I played at a couple of months back. And apparently, the last one, somebody there just bought one and was playing it.
Yeah, they are a lot of fun.
You know, yeah.
I don't know if they're upgradable that much. I don't know if he has plans for upgrades,
No.
but they do a lot already. So they.
Yeah. But I'm not in a rush for it, so I've got to learn to finger drum first and learn to do a polyend tracker.
Oh, did you buy the full one or the little one?
What, polyend tracker?
Yeah.
I bought the old one. The one that was on the deal, the original one. Yeah. I like it, actually. It's completely out of my comfort zone to some extent. I've never touched the tracker before. But, I'm all for doing different things with different instruments. So,
That's why I got that Akai thing, just to have something completely different. I've never had a wind instrument ever. Thought I'll just buy one, see what happens.
Yeah.
Because you don't know, do you? Because loads of people will be going like, well, you need to take lessons, and then no, I'll just buy it, see what happens.
No, not for the controllers. I mean, the sax with the little mouthpiece that has a special bite on it.
Yeah.
You probably need a little help with that because those are all techniques that are kind of hard to learn. But a basic wind controller is pretty simple. It's just
blow into it,
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Wacky type of off things like the Terror and whatever. I think the last time I saw anything a bit odd done by a major manufacturer was probably Yamaha with that Tenorion thing.
Oh, that was bonkers.
16x16 thing.
I love my Tenorion. I think it's
That
great.
was quite wacky at the time. It was like, what?
No, I remember having a go at that, and it was really odd.
So here's the funny thing about it. It's with all people loving sequencers nowadays, it makes an amazing sequencer just for gear. You don't have to use any internal sounds. And it would be very popular now if it came out now because with all the modular people and stuff. Because it's if you've seen like Circadian Rhythms, it's a module made by 4MS, I think it is. This is basically doing the same thing, and it's cost almost the same amount. It's pretty expensive. And Tenorion's great. It's a mobile device that you can load your own samples in, and because it has these modes where you can actually change the speed on the fly of your repeats and stuff, your ratchets and all that. You can do Tangerine Dream stuff on it super easy. So it was a missed opportunity. It came out too early. Nobody knew what to do with it. The marketing was shit. And it's really unfortunate because it's really nice. Now they're really expensive to find.
The only person I ever saw...
There's a few odd. Remember that Zoom thing, that circular thing?
I hate that thing. I have one, but I hate it. Yeah.
I mean, I had the 96, which was the one without the where you with the untethered ring, and it sat on here for months, and I play with it for a bit, and I try and get my head around it, and I never really. The pads were always not very responsive. And
the trigger's not good.
Yeah. And I just hated it after in the end. I was glad to. I mean, I got good money for it because it's. In fact, funny enough, I've just sold. I bought the proper bag for it, which I never even used.
The sounds weren't great either. A lot of them sounded General MIDI kind of.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. But no, and I did do odd bits with it, but I really didn't gel with it at all.
Do you remember that Casio thing that looked like the Millennium Falcon?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
there's a few odd things, but there's not many, are there? It's like a handful of odd things by major manufacturers. There's not many out there wacky pieces of kit, like you're talking about your Terror and stuff like that. There's it's very rare that a big company will go try this, and it's like that's really odd. Yeah, it costs a lot. It takes a bit of effort to do something new.
Well, Korg were always quite good. If you look at Korg, I'm not including the last 5 or 6 years, but up until a point, every so often they would come out with something that was a bit weird and wacky.
Oh, yeah, the K oscillator. That was wacky.
It's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It translated really well to an app too, so you can get it on iOS.
Yeah. I think that they haven't admitted it, but I I really liked the mini K oscillator thing, the small one.
Yeah, the yellow one. Yeah, I had one.
Yeah, and I had the Mark 1, which I then sold and bought the Mark 2, and the Mark 2, although it had more functionality, wasn't as good.
There's a
for
Mark
me.
2, the little one with the little ribbon thing as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it had a tiny little display or something there. I can't remember.
I think they've discontinued it because it's not on my dealer portfolio. Because
Right.
I'd buy one, to be fair. I'd buy one to just keep. But they don't seem to be there anymore. So maybe they've discontinued it, but I haven't told anybody.
Mm.
You know, I have got the Chaos pad as well, the portable, the mini Chaos pad.
Yeah.
Which is just like an effects unit, but that's really quite cool just to have that ever so often.
The wave drum by Korg is also a bit wacky.
Wave drum is brilliant, but I've had
yeah.
one of them on order for 2 years.
Jesus.
Mm.
Get the wave drum global. That's the best one.
Yeah, that's the one I've got.
And of course the ATV A-frame. That's a really great one as well.
Yeah, but no, there've not been any in the UK, from Korg for at least 18 months.
Ouch.
No.
Obviously not making them and they can't find any stock.
I mean, you can get a used one. There are plenty online.
Yeah.
So even the original wave drum, which looks kind of funky, it's a slightly different shape.
You've got one of me, Andy. Didn't you demonstrate it once?
That's not the original. That's the first of the lineup that created the global. There's like a wave drum, like a silver one.
Yeah.
Then there's a wave drum Oriental, which had a lot of Arabic and Asian sounds in it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then there was the wave drum global. And the global is actually better, not just because it has like twice the sounds, but it also, they fixed the volume output. There's a volume output problem on the silver one. And it's been documented online. There's like, if you hold these 2 buttons down and do this and reboot, you get the maximum output. And it's still low. You still got to crank the sucker. So get the global and you won't have that problem.
I think when we had the shop, they had it might be a cheaper version of a wave drum, and I'm just trying to look it up now.
The one thing people got mad about wave drum because they don't understand it's an ecosystem. There's no MIDI.
Yeah.
So they go, I want to control this stuff. Well, it's the expression it's doing is quite complicated. So I don't think it would translate very well over MIDI because it's layered. Like some of the patches are stacked and some are zoned and some are by pressure. And it's just way too complicated to do all that over MIDI. So most people would not know how to do it. So
is the wave drum like a Korg's version of the Hansonic then? But different.
Well, the Hansonic is proper MIDI and has rubber pads and just basic pressure. But I haven't played with mine for a while. I have an HPD 15, and I don't think it does layers. I think it's just sound per pad and expression, velocity and stuff like that, and pressure.
The one you've got a ribbon on it as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, the double ribbon, so you can do like Cuicas and gyros and stuff like that. It's really cool. The 20 is nicer if you want to load your samples into it. That's what Ramsey has.
Is that the new one?
No, well, it's not new. It's been out for a while, but that's one Ramsey demonstrated on his show.
Right. I think they're about 800 quid, the new ones, aren't they? They're a lot of money.
Yeah, but they allow you to load samples. The 15 is locked. It's just V drum sounds, basically. You can't load other stuff into it.
Yeah.
But and you also can get the octapads and all those too. Those are cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a Yamaha DTX Multi 12 thing, little pad thing. That's quite.
Although I never tried. Maybe Robbie did this. Can you play hands on octapad, or is it sticks only? Is it sensitive enough to do hands? Oh,
I think that's a yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
The Yamaha Multi 12 can do hands, sticks, and fingers.
Oh, cool.
It does fingers on the sticks, large pads, but you have to sort of whack the smaller pads because you got 3 lower ones and 3 top ones, which are like thin sausage shaped.
Oh yeah, those little I've seen that.
They take more of a hit. You'll do it, but they're less sensitive.
Okay.
But I thought I'll just get the what's it called, the FGDP50 instead. So it'd be a dedicated finger drum thing. See how I'll get on with that.
Sure.
So yeah,
It's a recommendation from me.
cool.
It seems nice. I mean, before that, I would say get the Korg pad control. Because not only does it give you really nice pads that light up, so you can use it for loops and stuff, but that XY pad gives you complete control over your rolls and flams and repeats, which is really expressive.
What is that? Hand controlled MIDI.
Yeah.
Digital talent.
Oh, you're muted, Rob.
Go figure. Audio professionals. I got this in a bag full of stuff, and I have never been able to find anything about it.
Is it like a D-beam?
I believe that's what it does, but it doesn't work.
Oh.
Is it MIDI?
Probably a good thing that it doesn't work then.
Yeah.
It is MIDI. Okay, yeah, because the Coma Commander does CV.
My Roland Guy's got D-beam. I've yet to use it. I don't think I'm interested.
Oh, D-beam's great.
Is it?
Yeah.
Never used it.
It's like an Aramin, right?
I opened it up.
You're not really selling it on me, but yeah. Cool.
Well, put it this way, if your hands are busy and you're playing both hands going crazy, you use your head to actually, I mean, it looks dumb, but you run out of appendages. How are you going to do like a...
Put your foot up there, be fine.
Well, yeah, do that. That would look even worse.
And then you'll fall over. You know what I mean? Not the end of I'd fall over for sure.
But not everyone has foot pedals or wants to use foot pedals or whatever. So your only choice is using your head on the D-beam.
Yeah. When you got to do it, you got to do it.
I mean, I used to jam with my friend who moved away, taught me the hardware jam aesthetic. I'd set like, I don't know, 6-7 keyboards up in a drum machine and just put a recorder on and we would just play. And sometimes I'd run out of hands. I got a hand over here. So I'd use my nose to play either a key or move a mod wheel or something like that.
Oh, I've got a question for EMOMs. We've got 2 people who do EMOMs.
Yeah.
When you're constructing or when you're thinking about going out and doing an EMOM, how do you work out what you're going to use?
I always use modular these days. It's just the way it goes.
How do I work out? Well, depends what I'm wanting to do. I always want to try and do something different. I mean, because I'm putting an album out next month, and I've done 3 EMOMs with tracks from that album. I won't do that anymore. Hi, Dave.
Hey.
Hey. The cat's there.
Cleo.
So
the cat's always here. Yeah.
I always try and include the instrument if I can. If I don't include the instrument, I include the organelle. So I want at least one of those. I mean, I'm going to do. I've got 2 to do it next month, and at this particular moment in time, I don't know what I'm going to use yet. But I'll set it up here, and try
ever think
things.
about what people are going to look at, as in the visual appeal, or are you just trying to work out what's the best way of putting my song across?
Well, because I'm generally improvising, so I will practice something, so it's not completely improvised. But I was going to say I don't do songs that there's no singing involved, but they are pieces of music that have been created and then improvised versions of that. So
right.
No 2 versions are ever the same, and that's part of it. So it's an improvised set based around music that I've created previously. But because I don't want to do that next time for those next 2 EMOMs, I am looking to create a 15-minute piece of music or 2 or 3 pieces of music that then I can improvise around.
Right, so you're trying to spice it up for yourself, make it a bit more interesting for what you're doing, rather than
there's no
practicing and then playing. You'd like to.
I will practice it. I will practice it a lot. I'll know roughly what I'm going. I will leave enough variability for me to do different things when I'm actually playing.
Right.
So it's not. So I know it's not going to be the same every time. But fundamentally, I'll pick the instruments. I'll pick a number of sounds, or I'll create a set of presets if it's, if I'm using a piece of kit, and then based around that, I will improvise. Either the organelle or the instrument will be the top line. So that's the melody part, and I always do something with some melody.
Right. Okay. Cool.
I mean, I quite like some droney stuff, but listen to 15 minutes of drone and no melody is quite tedious, if I'm honest.
Yeah. I always like trying to put melody and stuff.
Since I have to walk 3 to 4 blocks with my gear to every time I go up there,
Oh shit.
I have to keep it, fairly
small.
light, even though it's not that light. I have 2 modular cases, a duffel bag full of all my other stuff, like a Keystep Pro, some cables, power strip, and a bunch of other junk. So I keep it as small as I can, but I always bring like the A-frame drum for some live percussion or some other kind of element to spice it up, so it's not always just the same modular rack.
I mean,
Yeah,
one of the things that
a little bit to it, doesn't it? It adds a bit more variety visually as well.
Well, the problem with the visual though is that's the other thing too. A lot of these venues, depending where I set up at the night, because sometimes they do this round table around at the One Noise Bridge site. Sometimes they can't even see anything but the lights hitting my face if I set up on the other side of the table. It depends on where you are in the room. Sometimes they can't see my gear at all, just cases and lights. Other times they can get a side view of me. They never get a front view because the camera's there recording for live stream.
Yeah.
So there's not much visual, to be honest. And they're already doing like cool 3D displays on the screen. It's usually 2 different walls, as well as some crazy lights, and the table itself has lights on it. So there's plenty to look at. People don't always look at the performer.
I mean, I bought Jim Blue's Microcosm, so I really want to include that next time.
I use that a couple times. That's good. Yeah.
So whatever I do, I will have that in it, doing something. I haven't quite decided what yet. And it'll probably be connected to the Microfreak.
There are a couple great modes on there where it will add harmonics and other notes for you. It'll step through, and then it takes you on this whole other musical journey. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. So definitely Microcosm, definitely the instrument, I think, and definitely the Microfreak, and maybe the organelle if I can make it work. Make it all work together.
Your instrument, can it do? I've not really looked into it. Well, I've not even looked into it, so there's no really at all. Can you do any sort of like fade-ins? Like can you, like a blown instrument? Can you get something and then fade it in? Can you affect the envelope as you play stuff, basically?
Yes, because it's 5-point MPE. So, and there's different sort of modes. I mean, I tend to use it mainly with an iPad. Using Geo Shred is usually the instrument I tend to use more than anything else on it.
It's good.
Although I have bought a couple of things. I mean, I bought the Sculpt because that's MPE. I haven't say I've been overly impressed with it at the moment, but I need to spend more time with the Sculpt.
Did you buy the expansion packs for GeoShred?
Yes.
That Eastern
not
one,
all of them,
really
not
good.
All of them.
The one with all the Indian and Asian sounds is really cool.
No, I bought the violin, I bought the cello, I bought the saxophone.
Yeah.
Some I got for free because I did some reviews for them. So I got the trumpet.
Saxophone's amazing. I was doing Pink Panther the other day with it. It's really
saxophone.
fun.
And the flute. I've got the flute as well. So, and I quite like to use what would be considered traditional instruments as well, although they're sampled and using an instrument with them. That sort of works quite well. So it's not just purely, electronic in that sense. I do like to sort of at least mirror some real instruments, people say.
Okay. Well, on an instrument, can you set it to a key so you can't play the wrong note?
If you want. I don't.
You don't.
I mean, you can scale it to whatever you want. I have it scaled as it originally came because I tried you can scale it like just like a 6-string guitar. It's actually scaled like a 6-string bass at the moment.
Okay.
So, and I've although I've messed around with some of the other scalings, I'm not really that bothered about changing the scales because I've got used to playing it like that, and I quite like playing it like that.
Right.
You know,
Cool.
there's lots of things I haven't really bothered with. And it'll do strange things like I can get, especially if I'm using GeoShred, I can sometimes get there's a singing bowl patch, and if you play it on the GeoShred on the iPad, it does different things on the instrument. So you can get like little clicks and things that you don't get just playing it on an iPad. So sometimes the instrument, and you know, they're happy accidents to some extent. I quite like it where you get things that are not normal.
Right.
You know.
And a bit of character. And did you get the big one or the little one? Did you get the 256 one or the 128?
I've got the big one.
You got the big one. Okay.
Yeah, and I have done. You know, in the past, I have occasionally done split it in half and done one thing on one side and another thing.
Can you do that?
Oh, yeah. And the other thing you can do is,
can you set the split point, or is it just?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you can. I mean, it is so variable in what you can do with it. There's so much. It's really, really incredibly well designed. I mean, Roger Lynn is a genius.
Yeah.
You know, along with Bob Moog and other people, but you know, I mean, how he's designed that thing. You know, I mean, you can use any power supply with it that's above 9 volt.
Right.
Okay. So you don't have to worry about the polarity of your power supply because the instrument will take that into account.
It out and go, I'm fine.
Simple things like that, you know. So you're never going to blow it up.
Yes.
Yeah, you're never going to blow it up because I mean it makes so much sense, really, you know. I've not really used the sequencer in it.
Right.
There's a sequencer in it that I've never bothered with, really. I'll get to it at some point in the future, you know. The other thing, I've done things where I did an E1 where I played part of it with a synth connected to the instrument and then really, really quickly was able to switch it to the iPad and backwards and forwards. Right. So I could use multiple instruments on the instrument. You only really use 2, but you know. Yeah.
Did you have to unplug the MIDI, or did you just say don't want to use it?
Because because it's got conventional MIDI and a USB. So I had one thing in the USB and one thing in the conventional MIDI. And you just tell it which one you're going to go to. It's really simple.
Okay. Dave's been very quiet. We need to talk to Dave. Dave, hello, Dave.
Dave.
Your
turn. Go get a drink.
Yeah, no. I was just thinking. Let me move this closer. I was just thinking. I'm supposed to do just a 10-minute show next Sunday, and it's about time for me to start thinking about this question. What am I going to?
There you go.
Yeah.
She's looking at me too. Yeah. So I think just thinking about it, I guess it's gonna 10 minutes is nice. That's a nice. I can deal with that. So that's
you've got a continuum, haven't you? Is what you've got?
Yeah, I have a continuum mini.
Right.
I was just thinking though, I'd probably take the drum root impact and then take the looper because I can switch scenes on that. And then, oh gosh, for me, it's always like delays, envelopes, and filters. So as long as I can move those things around, I don't really feel like, and I got that cool thing now that I've been doing where I use the samples from the looper and I sync them with the drum machine. So I can kind of take the drum machine and really go crazy with it with the delays, and I can break out and then I can kind of center everything with the sample. So I think it'll be pretty. I probably should thinking about it, I should probably set up today and do a hardware.
Is this your first show you're going to then?
Yeah, it's my first show I've done all by myself. Yeah, I've done some 2-piece.
Not at all then.
Yeah, so it'll be very different than that. Yeah. I didn't really want to do. Well, I don't want to say I didn't want to do it. Someone just asked me. And
they twisted your arm.
They didn't twist it. They just offered, and it was. I was kind of like, yeah, you know what? I should do this. This could be.
I'm a great believer, Dave. You always say yes.
Yeah, me too. That's
Yeah.
been my mantra in life. You say
Yeah.
yes, and at the last minute you got to bail for something else. Then you do, but you always you always say yes first
Yeah.
to anything, and then it usually works out okay. And no, it could be. It's either I'm really gonna like. I go back the first time I played live when I was younger, and that changed the whole trajectory of my life. You know, once I got up there with a band, I said, "This is it, man. This is why didn't I do this?" You know, how many X years before? You know, but so I feel like this will go one of two ways. Either I'll do it and go, yeah, it was cool, or I'll go, wow, okay, I can kind of think about this now. I can envision something bigger. But as we're talking about, you know, not knowing the venue, so the lighting, I can't see it, I can't hear it, I have no idea. So that's why I like to go percussion, drums, very visceral things that I'll be able to control to some degree. Because if I
Take a mini light with you so you can see what you're doing.
Yeah, because
always stick a light. Yeah.
So some of the biggest problems I've seen when I've watched other people live is they go on there and try to have some kind of orchestration going. And some of them can have some beautiful, you know, they've got their pads and they're syncing all this stuff, but it's not mixed. It's not mixed for that room at all. And it really falls flat, bad. And
I always
anyways.
I mean, I used to always mix myself, so I'd have headphones or in-ears or something like that. Now, because I've got a Zoom R16, I use that as a mixer, but I'm also recording it, so I multi-track record it because I may end up using bits of that. You know, I mean, because it's got 8 ins, but it's got another 8 tracks that, you know, so I can have samples or something else on those other 8 tracks if I wanted to, and then I can have actually 8 ins. So in theory, I put so 4 stereo tracks, you know, or instruments in.
You're muted.
You muted Dave.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you did.
Sorry, I thought I unmuted. Yeah, this group will probably do a lot of that for me. Yeah. So,
for lights, get one of those head strap lights so your hands are free. They're really handy, so you can look around through stuff. And
you look ace too. You look like a miner.
You look like a goofball, but it works, right?
Yeah. You know what I use?
In the middle of
I use this little head. I use these, and I have a collection of them. I have different colors too, so I can you know, I could just turn it sideways and hit portions of my gear if I can't see it. So yeah, that's kind of my thing with the flashlights and stuff.
We've got a thing. There's a small company here, and they do it's like a wrist watch light. I mean, the idea is that it's got, you know, white on the front and red at the back. So, but it turns round as well. Now, I bought it to try it on Elon, but I've never bothered. I've just used a sort of conventional light, really.
I mean, I do have one of those head things for my.
I've got one of them.
I used to be a building inspector, so I used to go to abandoned buildings and all sorts of. So I've
done hikes at night a lot, so I need a light sometimes.
That's why I don't really find, you know, wearing all that kind of masks and all that stuff is cool. I'm like, nah, man, I used to do that crap. It's not cool to me at all. I was actually using it for a real reason, you know, like, oh God, I don't want to go in here, so I need something to help me. But yeah, so lighting is important, but yeah, I'm not going to get too, you know, it's kind of a family event. It'll be fine, you know.
When's your gig then, Dave?
The following Sunday. So
going to be videoed or not?
It will be videoed. I guarantee that. Yeah, the whole thing will be. Yeah, I think I was saying before, the group running this, the Rocky Mountain synth group, they do all this stuff. They've been doing it for years. I've just kind of.
Did they do a live stream, or was it like done afterwards?
I don't know if they're doing it. They have done it before, but
is Mike going to do it too?
Yeah. What's that?
Mike Metley, is he going to do that?
You know, I didn't see him on there. He's definitely in the group. I'll have to go check and see if he's. I don't think he's playing it. There's another guy named Mark Mosher. He's pretty deep into the scene, and he's super cool. You know, he sets up all the events, and he's been to a lot of the NobComs and everything. In fact, he played at NobCom. But yeah. So it's a really.
See Mike Metley in Second Life. He keeps doing these live concerts in Second Life, and every time I log in, he's gone. I'm like, where did he go?
I know. I can't. I told him one time.
Oh no, we missed him.
That Radio Spiral thing, I can't get it all synced up. I try to find it, and I tell him like, dude,
I go to the little island they created, and I go like, no one's here.
It's weird. I know.
Second Life still going.
I'm going to say Second Life.
Second Life.
Clearly
I think Duran did Second Life in like 1990 something.
Yeah, they've upgraded a lot since I first used it like 15 years ago, but it's.
I haven't touched it. I mean, I probably can't log in.
It ought to be renamed like Get a Life.
That's exactly, yeah. That's why I stopped using it. It's like, this is not so good. But now you can. I don't know if it's new, but you can fly, so you can quickly cover an area by flying around the area.
Yeah. The university I worked for, they actually bought their plot in Second Life, because the idea was that we might start using it for educational purposes. I mean, so I'd signed up fairly early on, but no, I thought it was pretty crap, really.
Too early, isn't it?
Full of weirdos, if anything.
Well, that too. Yeah, they had to clamp down, I think, because inviting all kinds of nutcases in there.
Yeah, well, low life.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Seedy life.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Funny. Well, I look forward to your gig. We'd like to see the video at some point. That'd be cool.
Yeah, only if it's decent.
No. If it's rubbish, I want to see it as well.
No, it's all good. Yeah.
To be honest, if it's the more rubbish, the more I want to see it.
I'm usually pretty fearless with that kind of stuff, but I always reserve judgment to freak out because I don't know. I might get up there and be like, oh my God, I'm not ready at all.
I know the feeling. I did my first one ever back in November. This group called it's a spinoff of the Noise Bridge group in San Francisco, and they stopped doing it because it was too expensive. They actually were paying money to local movie theaters to rent one of the theater spaces to use the stage to perform on. So you have nice theater seating, a screen for the video synthesis to project on while you're playing live, and really, really, really well set up. And I went to the last one they ever did, apparently, because November last year was the last one they did, and it was my first live thing ever since I played music in elementary school, and I was shitting bricks, and it turned out all right. So
yeah. Oh, and I've had the odd disaster, as it's been shown on my channel from time to time. Things do go wrong at EMOMs.
Yeah,
live music.
That event actually,
live music. That's it. No matter
if I hadn't brought my A-frame, I would be screwed because one of my mod voices went out. One of the melodic voices went out. Where's my fucking music? So I had to pull out the A-frame and play more live than I expected. So
there you go. Backup plan, isn't it? Yeah,
definitely.
Always have a backup plan. Yeah.
There you go, Dave. Backup plan. Take the cat
plan and expect stuff to go wrong because it will.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if the mixer goes down, I'm in trouble. But I only got 10 minutes too. They might just go, all right, well, ladies and gentlemen, Ace of Strength.
Not in yet.
It's like when we went to New York, and I think I've told this story where I was in a band and we went to New York and we played. We were in DC. We drove up there that night, and it wasn't a lot of people in the audience, but there was another band that invited us, and actually the young woman at that time ended up touring with Morrissey a little bit after that, and we kind of knew a lot of this, so that we knew they were connected. So we wanted to play. We were playing after them, and we did our first song, and like it just sounded unbelievable. It was like, whoa, we were so into it, and she was watching us, and we got on the second song, and the bass player blew a string. Go back up. We had to pack up. Call the night. Nobody had a bass string. And first band didn't even have a bass player.
Has anyone ever been paid to leave?
Oh, I don't know.
Paid off, you mean?
Paid off, yeah. My mate's band was, because they got hired to do a gig. They obviously got the people who hired them didn't realise they were like a Yazoo Erasure type sounding thing. I hired my RX5 back in the day as a drum machine. Then I went with them just to make sure the drum machine don't get nicked.
Yeah.
And, they thought they were going to get a rock act, not a pop act. So they played like when you do like a sound check. Went, I don't think you're going to fit in. So here's your cash and cheers.
No, never,
crazy.
Never had that.
Yeah,
I did have we did.
That's pretty funny.
To play a gig down in Norfolk, some Culture Show, which Rob probably knows.
RAF
RAF Culture Show. And so I was with this covers band. This was probably in the late
Oh,
80s,
we're
early
flying.
90s.
Oh.
Signed the contract to do the gig. And then we realised that they wanted us to play for 3 hours. And we only had about an hour and 20 minutes set, you know.
This has
so
got
we
to
turned up.
this has
we
got to
literally-
be like our Instagram little, you know, when you do
So-
the little shorts.
Yeah, we did
do that.
the set all the way through for an hour and 20 minutes, had a break, and then we just played exactly the same set again, but just in a slightly different order. You know.
Kajagoogoo did that. I went to see Kajagoogoo in Leicester. It was, I think I don't think their album was out, but the single was out. And I went to see him with my girlfriend back then. And they went for the set and they were like, yeah, everyone loved it. I had some rubbish scarves sold with Kajagoogoo that when my girlfriend came back, most of the Kajagoogoo print was on her face because it all came on. But yeah, they went through their album's worth of tracks, just like 8 tracks. And then they started playing them again because they didn't have any other tracks. That's just funny. And support. Do you remember a band called H2O? I Dream of Sleep. They were support. They were really fucking good. Why they didn't make anyway, I don't know. They were a really good band.
I once headlined a gig. This was probably 2010, something like that. Played with this band, 3 girl singers, playing power pop stuff, headlining. We're supposed to be playing for 40 minutes. We're 15 minutes in, and the guy running the night said, and we were getting paid, which is fine. She said, I need to stop. So what do you mean you need to stop? She said, oh, the license won't let us go on past 10 past 11. And because all the other acts on the bill, they hadn't left enough time for the headliners to play. So we said,
"Oh,
sorry,
you have to leave early." Oh.
Yeah, that like the noise ordinances. But I know that used to be the big battle. You'd have 4 or 5 bands, and one band would go like 5 or 10 minutes over. Everyone's freaking out, and all the stupid drama that came with it.
Yeah.
But, good times. Henrik, do that cool thing again with the lights. It's a perfect one. That was really cool.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to.
I want to say something really profound. I want to say something really profound.
How do you do that, Henrik? By the way, how do you add those?
It's a new function on StreamYard.
You have to pay the full price, or can you do it in the free one?
I don't know. I pay the full price. So.
Okay.
It's probably
so. You have an extra tab, maybe, or something? Is it the?
No, it's the backgrounds. Now you can make
cool.
movies to the backgrounds.
Man.
What were you gonna
they
say,
have a bunch
Dave?
of ones you add from a third party, or they're just built in there. You just choose.
There are some built-ins, but they are quite boring. So I had some from what is it called? Motion Array, where I have a subscription.
Motion Array. Huh? I heard that one.
So I'm licensed to use them while I'm subscribing.
It's fun.
But
Oh,
most of the loops are not good. I would like some stars, but all those loops are not perfect.
so let's talk about the Gaia 2, since I'm getting one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a rebel. Like, yeah. Yeah. I keep seeing it's like it's a great beginner synth. It's a great vanilla. Like people are so harsh, and I'm like, wow, really? Is it that vanilla? It's like.
I hope you like it more than I did. I tried a Guitar Center and I tried to like it, but I like the control surface and the look and some of the cool, like the XY pad and the screen stuff on there.
A lot of stuff I like, yeah.
But the sound, which is the most important thing, I didn't like. So
I think once I start putting it through the effects, it's going to be fine. Honestly, I'm not too worried about it, and I don't get too. I always look at it the same way. If I can find about 5 really good usable sounds, and then it has an amazing interface where I can record things and work with it quickly, then it's a massive winner to me.
because the original Gaia was pretty boring, but it had some nice sounds on it.
Well, it had some cool tricks on it
I don't
too.
use it very much, but it's the cool thing is that Sweetwater guy who does all the demos, he made a custom sound bank you could buy for like, I don't know, $10 or whatever, and I got those, and those are very nice.
And I do find a lot of times the wavetable stuff can be very
Harsh.
it can be a little hard to at first to kind of work with, and I think that's the primary oscillator. So I was kind of looking at it like, ooh, I could see why it might take it a little time to kind of work. But that pad thing, the more I dig into it, is all that automated kind of stuff you can do with it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you've played it, Dave?
No. Honestly,
because my thoughts were that I thought the pad was in the wrong position, but I'm not. Well, what do you think, Andy, about the way the pad is?
Yeah, I'm used to the pad on the left because the X Station and all the other things that have pads.
Yeah.
But I understand why they did it. I think one of the things I didn't like also the tiny pitch bend mod wheels. So really tiny. What the hell are they thinking?
I never use those too much, though, to be honest. I might use the mod wheels a little bit.
Yeah.
I never use pitch wheels, but I actually like the pad in the center because I think it's not only for just kind of chaos pad stuff. It actually serves a function of moving, editing and looking around, and so it's well thought out from what I've seen people working with it. It's not just a little trick; it's an integrated part of how you're going to operate the synth. So
it's like what they did in the Mod Wave. The Korg Mod Wave has that with the pad and the screen interaction and the little
I bet it's
physics thingy that's going on there.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a really cool one. I mean, I just swapped my Nord Wave for it, which was a super cool. I call it kind of collector synth. If you're really into synths, it's one that you'd want in your collection. But I'm not that person. So somebody online was just like, I'm kind of looking for a wave, and they threw in a little extra money, and
guy looks quite fun to me. That's
yeah. So I think from just a music creation standpoint, I think this will be good for me. And if it doesn't, I'll just move it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like trading stuff too. It's a really affordable way to kind of a real low risk way of doing things. So if you can
find a new room, you create some room, get something new, and put it where the other one was.
Yeah. So I used to have a real close friend on the East Coast, and we would do that kind of stuff all the time. So I got real comfortable just kind of moving things in and out of the studio. So yeah, we'll see. I just I like that I'll be able to kind of have my own opinion about it.
Exactly. And you'll have to live with it for a bit anyway.
Yeah.
To really.
Yeah, my guess is it'll be real. My guess is I'll be able to use it pretty quickly. It's just got so much different, the sequencer, and just it has a lot more than the Wave had. The Wave just had that amazing. Just sounded really good, but it really, you had to want to play it, and it was. I don't have any space for it as a instrument. Recommend.
The Clavia stuff is nice though. The Nord.
Oh, it's really a nice synth, no doubt.
I have a Nord Lead 2 rack, which is.
I hate the Nord Lead. I tried one.
Really?
Yeah, I was going to launch it out of a window. Horrible piece of kit. you needed
there's me outside the window. Go ready, good.
I can have it, mate. Honestly, when I tried it in the shop, the knobs were so stiff. You needed grips to turn it around. It's like you can't quickly go from one way to another. It's like this is gonna be a pain in the ass, isn't it? It's like
no, mine's not like that. I don't know. It's weird.
It's like they're all so much effort in the knob round, and that's stupid.
I've never owned a Nord.
I feel like mine were pretty stiff too. Thinking about it, but
sounded great. Sounded really good.
Yeah, the effects stuff, the distortion or tube circuit or whatever they had emulation on the Wave was really fun.
I mean, they had a VST years ago called DSP Discovery, Disco DSP Discovery. It was basically a Nord Lead 1 clone in software, or Synth 1 made by that Japanese guy. Was a free one.
Oh yeah, the Synth 1 thing. Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that's basically Nord Lead 1.
There's so many good. I mean, we all know it, but there's so many good software emulations and stuff you can do. I just, it's hard to justify some of these synths if I don't have the space. If I had the space, it's a totally different situation. But even lately, I've been working in Cubasis and iPad, and I got some of the audio thing, like the valves, and I forget who does what. And there's reels, and then tone boosters, some of their stuff, and it's unreal how good it is.
Tone booster stuff is really good.
It's really, it's kind of shockingly what it can do to
it is, and it's cheap, isn't it?
Yeah,
really cheap for what it is.
Like $10. Yeah. Some of these things are like $10, and
they've just done I think we need to update all the plugins because the whole series has been. I got an email from them saying, you need to update everything, which I haven't done yet. But I've been using them for years and years and years.
Yeah,
they're really, really good.
Yeah, you see, I just started kind of working with some of the amp sims kind of things. It just kind of opened up my mind of. It's almost like the initial sound I'm getting now is almost not as relevant as how I end up crafting things and then fitting other things into it, if that makes sense. I used to be kind of print the primary sounds but this thing, I start printing other than maybe certain instruments. I started really changing things because they were just frequency wise. And, anytime I can get something closer to a guitar, that kind of grit and that saturation and the way it sits so nicely, I'm like, whoa, man. Because that's always the big challenge with a lot of synth stuff, right? Is just all that clutter.
Yeah.
So, and I hear that a lot sometimes, when people aren't minimalistic enough, you can really feel it glutting. But then you start throwing some amp sims, some valve circuits like this stuff has, and it's a whole different, energy that gets created. So yeah, I mean, God, I know I'm getting to that point where I'm like, God, what do I really need hardware wise? Other than what I want, for performance and stuff.
What was it on the Gaia 2?
Keyboards. I've got plenty of keyboards. So little synths that don't have keyboards that I can plug into other keyboards are the way I'm tending to go at the moment.
What were you saying, Chris?
Oh, I was going to say, what was it on the Gaia 2 that made you interested in getting it? Is there anything that?
Well, I mean, if you look at it in context of a swap, right, and what it provides. So first, I get a free SH 101, which I have nothing like that. It's polyphonic, and that alone, I've always wanted that boutique one. I think it sounds great, so I get that for nothing, and then I think I get something that. It's got sequencer now and it's got the motion. You can't do any of that with a wave. So it's really an instrument for me a little bit more. I can integrate it. And then now I can, experiment with the cloud and some of that Roland stuff, which I like having that capability. It's got the wireless whether I use it a lot is one thing, but having something that's that.
You got the option.
Yeah, USB-C. So it's, truly, I think it's just a way more modern piece of instrument, that has a lot more value, for me and if it for some reason doesn't gel, I bet it will though, because if it's anything like the Mini Freak or
is it on its way?
I think so. I gotta check, see if he sent it. He's reputable. He's all right. He's been on Mod Wiggler for years, so I'm not. Yeah, I don't just trade with anybody, but yeah. So it'll be cool. Yeah, it'll be I don't like to carry too many old synths anyways. They're just probably one.
No, they start dying, don't they?
Yeah, they start dying, and that's going to piss me off. So I'd rather, I don't have a lot of capabilities to fix them. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah. And, but, no, I've read a lot. I enjoy reading the critiques. And I, some of them are really valid, and some of them are irrelevant, and all of them are entertaining to me. The beginners thing is the thing that really every time I hear that, I'm going, I don't know what that means. Beginners, like there's literally endless possibilities with almost any synth. So I like beginner from what context, is what I would say to them.
I think that the context is it's laid out in a form factor, which is good to teach, basically. It doesn't mean
and that's cool. And it is, right? And if I was to give
what the Gaia 1 was, you found a lot of Gaia 1s in colleges and schools because you could teach synthesis with physical hand-on,
It's a nice layout.
faders and knobs. Yeah, and they had a
Yeah.
mix of faders and knobs, not just all knobs, which is
Yeah.
It does.
it's a bit
Yeah,
slow.
it does need some. Oh, sorry, Chris. I was going to say it needs some. What you do to some of yours, it needs to get blinged a little bit with some different colored knobs, a little bit more.
Yeah,
Something so your eye can, because it looks a little bit.
looks a bit corgi at the minute, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can't really.
Yeah, very cool.
Doesn't draw you anywhere. It just looks like it's like, oh, it's got all these knobs. It's kind of like looking at a MIDI controller. You're just like, yeah, I guess that could work. Like where's the tape? That's when I get out that little red vinyl tape and start coloring.
Yeah, because Roland used to color code their early things, didn't they? Put little different bars around it, blue and green and yellow, didn't they, to make it more so you know where you are, where the LFO was and where the filter and whatever was. So you could do that with the knobs, I suppose. Color code it out. It looked cool on camera, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, well, and I'm into aesthetics, so I'd like, I can splash a little color. I think I did it. Oh, I did it. Even on my sample track, I took see, I don't know if you could see.
Yeah.
See how I put some gray, just a little splash.
Yeah.
They don't fit. They fit pretty good. These were what are these called? The Davies knobs, I think. I think that's what these are. I always try to buy a little collection of knobs just to. But it really adds a lot to this. It kind of gives it a little bit more depth.
Fog sells a lot of those shrouding caps for tiny modular little tiny pot things. You can put different colored caps on top and screw them down and add more width and more color to your stuff.
Just helps my brain kind of separate things quicker.
Well, it also gives you more fine control because it's a bigger knob. So
yeah, I did got my TA to my S1. Just as just because if you've got a T8, the knobs are so tiny, as in the diameter of them. It's like, not very good.
It's like the 2 HP module have those little tiny knobs on them. So.
Oh yeah, I got a gazillion. I had that. I mean, got like things like you can't see like this little one. I mean, they're so tiny, man.
Yeah,
so tiny.
We were talking about weird instruments earlier. Have you guys ever seen one of these? The Alesis Photon with the AXYZ dome controller.
Oh God.
Oh.
So you can actually use it. It's the same on the Air Synth and the Air Effects, but this one actually you can use for expression, from controlling over MIDI.
Weird.
So, yeah, it's a 3D.
What do you touch it, or do you put your hand over it?
You just hover over it.
Okay,
that's 3D, so you can do this whole like arc, front, 3D, back, left, right, up and down.
It's like a 4-way D beam.
So it's a 3D D beam essentially. It's cool.
Does anyone make a controller with just all this kind of cool stuff on it, D beams and Atari?
Nope.
Like just that would be so cool.
It's Frankenstein your own.
Yeah, I used to have a really cool. I had the original Atari controllers with the red buttons and the joystick.
Oh yeah, joysticks. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy custom made them. I bought one. This is like 15, 20 years ago. I was going to build this modular thing, and then
well, those little Pong controllers they have with the side button and the knob, that would be cool as a controller for stuff.
I kind of regret selling it. It was super cool. I didn't know what to do with it at the time, but now I'm like, tag on it, man.
Mickey Delp made a cool module for the Wii Nunchuck, and I bought it. And it's you plug in your Wii Nunchuck, and you have the stick, and you have the 2 triggers, and you also have the accelerometer, and you control your module with that. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, there we go. That's nice.
Oh, we've gone all spicy.
Yeah, I want to turn the lights down. I want to like.
Oh, now we're going down the vortex. Whoa!
Feels good. Wait till we go all VR and we're all on here together, like
The headsets on.
We are orbital, literally.
There you go. Now
Yeah.
we're flying.
I like that one a lot. This is where Ian said something really profound for the YouTube short. Already, Ian, go.
Okay, something profound. That's not going to happen anytime soon, Dave.
Music is a gift.
Into the vortex we go. This time tunnel. We've entered.
Yeah.
There used to be I think was it the 70s? A British TV program called The Time Tunnel.
That was Alan Irwin, wasn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Erwin Allen, yeah.
Yeah. Irwin
Probably,
Allen.
you might not go it in the States and in Denmark, but
No, we had there's some goofy actors in that
there's a
one.
remake.
There is a remake. I remember
There is a
that.
remake, wasn't there?
Yeah. Well, it's either out or coming out about a time tunnel thing. But yeah, it's called Undo. If only real life had that, eh? It'd be so much simpler.
Or just be able to undo things.
Undo things that you fucked up.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say that. Undo. They never heard it. There you go.
It's a great function.
Yeah, it would.
Make
Be
out
overused,
about
wouldn't it? And you'd lean into it, go like, I'll just say whatever I want, then I'll just press undo.
And if you can undo the undo, that's when it's really cool. That's when it gets interesting.
Funny. JX3D is very quiet.
He is.
Really
He's having a lot of fun though. I can tell. He's like,
he's just watching the bomb.
We had to cough a bunch. He said he was sick, so.
oh, he looks like a proud father to me. Like he's just so proud of us. And then he's doing some fun stuff.
His minions are talking.
It's like our family. We're all upstairs together. No one's around. Nobody's really like interacting, but we're all
A bit like the Adams family, but a bit different. Yeah.
Well, I'm about to leave soon, so
yeah, it's probably a good time.
Good chat,
David,
so.
I was thinking I could give you some rights to. That was my trackball again.
Just press undo, we'll be fine.
Yeah,
I could give you some rights if my trackball still works. Then you can close down the stream and all that when you were done.
that's fine with me. I might shut these people out in about 5 minutes. We'll see.
Well, I've got to go in a minute anyway. So.
No, actually, I got to get going. So we might.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, maybe we just close it up. All right.
Yeah, wrap it up. We had a good chat. Let's not ruin it.
It was good
Let's
fun.
not ruin it.
Guys. It was lovely.
Yeah, we got these beautiful graphics.
Yeah.
I hope you feel better, Henry. Sorry you're.
Yeah.
Going
In the
around.
mornings I'm really bad, but it's getting better during the day.
Good.
So I think I have 3 or 4 days left with this.
Well, thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I love the. Cleo appreciates it too.
I like when I'm prepared. I wasn't prepared today. So, but thank you very much, everybody, for coming.
Yeah,
Thanks.
nice talking to everybody.
It's been a pleasure that you
Yeah, good stuff.
do it all yourself.
Andy, go get a nap, and maybe we'll see you later.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Good to see you guys in the chat.
Okay,
Yes.
take care, everybody.
Yeah,
Later,
and,
guys.
thanks
See you
all
later.
chatters.
Bye. Bye.
It was great having you here.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Henrik.
Bye bye. And then I have to find the outro. It's
Hope you feel better.
yeah.
Is it COVID
do,
or is it
I
just
do.
a cold?
I don't know.
You're not sure.
Hang on, Andy. We're still live, so I'll play
Yeah.
the outro and then we can talk
No problem.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.